Welcome to Suburban Living. This is Ed. I'm going to take you along on a little project today, something you may want to do. One of the problems I always have with this four-wheeler is hauling things into my cabin. It's about a half a mile from the main road. I'm hauling in a deep cycle battery, hauling in coffee thermos, I'm hauling in a chainsaw, maybe an axe or a tomahawk or something like that. Hauling things typically on the back also, but many times I have someone on the back. And so I thought I would have a little project today. Take these off, this rifle rack. I'm going to put those back on somehow, but I want to build just a box here on the front and some compartments in it that I may haul a few things easier. Okay, stripped away those rifle racks there. I first thought that might slant down, but I think that's pretty good. I think that's fairly level. I found this piece of old treated plywood that I used on a project, and some chunks of wood like this. This looks like a rough cut 1x6. I think that's what we're going to use to put a box on the front of this four-wheeler. Okay, got the piece of plywood cut out. Now I'm marking this section. We're just a little bit wider than this is on each side. I'm going to cut this 5 inches out, and that way this will slide in place. Okay, next step seems to be in place. Seems to look pretty good. Still have part of our areas back here to hook our bungee cords to if we need to. I never really planned it out that way, but I think that'll work pretty well. Of course, we can hook them in here also. Another thing you want to keep in mind when you're building something like this is that you don't build it too tall. I turn the handlebars all the way to the left, and you can see that our brake there comes out over top of what it'll be. Now, I don't intend to make it anywhere near that tall. See, that's 10 inches. But also, my fingers are going to be in here, and so if I make it too tall, I could hit my knuckles on it. So I'm going to make it pretty short. I'm not sure how tall yet we're going to make it. I'm going to see about how wide that board is. Okay, I cut the first board and put it across the front. At the beginning of this video, I said that was a pine board, but as I started cutting into it, I could smell right away, and you can see the green perhaps there, that's actually a poplar board. I just put it in there and I ran screws up through it. Of course, I took it off, flipped it over, and just screwed it down on the floor. Okay, the next step, we put the sides on. We just mark those out very simply, cut those to length, flipped it over, screwed that in from the underneath side, and then screwed the corners together. I drilled these. I didn't want to split out this wood after doing all that work on it. I think it's coming together pretty nicely. I've got to figure out exactly how I want my board to go back here. I'm not going to be putting a board over in front of this. I've got to determine how I'm going to do that. And then also work out on this inside with some divisions for my chainsaw to set. And then also try to put those rifle rack brackets back in. Okay, let me give you an update on the progress. I decided to go with these chunks of 2x4. Really, they're probably not 3.5 as 2x4 is today, but I wanted something thicker back here because I wasn't going to come in and I wasn't going to butt into anything. I made it a little shorter, and then I decided I didn't like those corners sticking up, so I slanted that down, kind of like the way that came out, and that way I don't have a sharp corner right here getting on and off the bike, an edge like that. And that resembles somewhat the old-fashioned carpenter toolboxes, old-fashioned wood ones. I don't mind the looks of that at all. Okay, I thought I'd test fit everything, and it just worked out, which this is my mistake, or could have been my mistake rather, that this chainsaw just fits exactly in here. It's not tight, it just fits. Much shorter, and we would have had to cut a notch in the side. What I'm going to do also, I'm going to place my gas can here, bar oil here, and there's a space right here. I may be able to put a piece of wood in here, and that way keep a hot muffler, as here's a muffler, on this chainsaw away from the plastic jug to melt it here. So I'm going to put a board through here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a division here, and that way the chainsaws stay fairly secure, and then I'll throw a bungee cord over top of it when I take it into the cabin. Okay guys, it's coming together very well. Got the board in here. Chainsaw fits in there nice. Got this board put in the center. Notice it only goes this far. Still room here for the bar to go through. Room for my gas can and also my bar oil. Screwed this in and screwed several screws up underneath this. More than I needed to probably. I put about 4 in it. It's nice and solid. Put one in the center here. And put screws in the side there. Now all we need to do, really, we need to fasten this thing down and figure out how to put those rifle racks back on it. Okay, here's an update as to what I decided to do. I decided to cut 2 slots for these pieces, and these are going to go right in here like this, and then these will set right over top. Okay, they turned out pretty good. That slot we put in there worked all right. Okay, right now we're in the painting process. Got the thing done. I think it looks all right. Got a hook in the side. I'll show you that later when it's back on the four-wheeler. Drilled just a couple holes down through the rack of the four-wheeler, which is over there. Look at the mess you make when you do a project like this. This garage was completely cleaned out. Now I got junk, I've got wood, I've got tools laying everywhere. Okay guys, here's the completed project. I'll show it to you in just a minute with it loaded down. I think it turned out pretty well. Just bolt her down with 2 bolts and she's nice and solid. I think I can ride with little difficulty at all. All right. Okay, she's back on. Got her painted black. Paint's not really 100% dry. I threw this weed eater across the rifle rack just to show you that you can haul weed eater on these and a rifle. I do this in the summertime. Haul my weed eater on the rack there. You just have to be careful not getting too close to trees and things. Got my mixed gas, bar oil, chainsaw right here. Got room underneath right here for my coffee thermos to lay in there. Also room for tools for work, for extra weed eater cable, for the tools for the chainsaw. When I'm not doing those things, I can put my deep cycle battery in there, taking it up to my off-grid cabin. I think it's going to work great. Now what this is just a little bit of work and a few materials. These were just some materials that were actually laying outside, and I brought them inside. I was going to give these to a neighbor just to get them out of my way, and I thought, you know, I imagine I could take those and make this four-wheeler box for the front. Okay, thanks for watching. You have a great day.